When troopers got to the house on North Plymouth Circle, they found 2 people dead and 2 others shot but still alive.
Jeff was my son.
Jeff was the kind of person that liked to make people laugh.
Everybody wanted to be around Jeff when he was around. He was the life of the party.
He was a fun kid. Everybody loved him. Didn't have an enemy.
So he's in high school and he starts dating this girl and she dumped him, and it was really hard, I guess, for him. It was pretty nasty. She kind of tore his heart out and he started getting into drugs and stuff. Anyways, he graduates high school, started working hauling sheetrock, banking there, got into the Longshoremen's Union, bought a Corvette. I remember he used to drive up into the family business and he would take out his wallet and be like, "Hey, my wallet won't close. Who wants 20s?" And just like flinging 20s everywhere, making it rain in there.
He had probably 5 cars. He always had a Corvette.
One Vet was in the garage, his white Vet. His blue Vet was out here. He had his truck here, his Caprice here, and his motorhome here, and his boat was parked along the side here.
He made more money working 2 days a week than I did working 5 days a week, and I had a good paying job.
He was hit by the gunfire first. He managed to run out of the house.
He ran from the cops one time. He just started getting more into drugs. He's kind of being more, I don't know, elusive, and no one could find him. And
His attitude seemed to change a lot. He wasn't the same guy that I remember as a kid.
The changes that I noticed in Jeff were his personality was not the same.
When I was 18, he would have been 25. He was an alcoholic.
He wouldn't come around for social family gatherings. If he did, he would stay for just a few short minutes and then he was gone again.
He couldn't go 2 days without drinking.
Jeff always thought he was too smart to lose control of his life. His live-in girlfriend, Mary, the love of his life, died of a drug overdose. That's when he really did lose control and he started on his downward spiral.
He went into a back room, came back out with a Glock 45 caliber handgun, and just started shooting at people.
so he was dating this girl, Mary, and Mary ended up overdosing on some drugs and stuff and killed her. Like she was gone, and it tore him up because they'd been dating for a few years. Anyways, he swore off everything. He said, "I'm not gonna get drunk. I'm not gonna get high. I'm done with everything."
He said he wasn't going to touch alcohol or drugs anymore.
He promised me that he would never touch drugs again, but he didn't keep the promise.
That's where he used to live, right there. That's his house. That's his old house. Right there.
Jeff did not think he lost control, but he lost control. He was what they call a functional alcoholic, but he wasn't a functional drug user.
2 cop cars, 1, 2 here, and coming up the driveway there was a cop standing here with a 12 gauge and one up here with a 12 gauge. Knocked on the door, he had his pistol out when I came to it. I was like, "Jeff, you got to deal with that."
And at that time was the first time that I found out he was actually doing cocaine.
They arrested him, had him handcuffed up, took him, put him in the truck. We didn't see him for about 6 months after that. He was in jail. So
Jeff's first contact with drugs was in high school, and it was marijuana. He had lost control and didn't know he lost control.
He lost his job, and he lost his house, and he lost 3 cars.
He got all of his cars taken away for DUIs. I think he had 5 DUIs.
Chased the other woman into the dining room where he shot her multiple times.
So he gets out of jail, and he obviously been in jail, didn't have any money, stopped paying his bills, didn't have hot heat or lights or anything, no cable, remember that. And anyways, he had an intervention for him. He relapsed off of that, went to rehab, like a 2nd and 3rd time, relapsed off of both of those, and lost his house, and ended up moving out to Birchwood. And this is the spot where he was staying right here. This was his old cabin, and then we lost contact with him for 6 months, and then the troopers ended up calling.
Between alcohol and drugs, he didn't have any control at all.
The last day of Jeff's life ended with him going out to the valley to some friend's house.
He had a party at this lady's house.
And apparently Jeff showed up an hour or 2 later. They're not sure how he got there. But he showed up at the party. He had a duffel bag.
And he got angry at what was being said at the house, and he pulled out a gun that he had brought with him. And
When troopers got to the house on North Plymouth Circle, they found 2 people dead and 2 others shot but still alive.
He went into a back room, came back out with a Glock 45 caliber handgun, and just started shooting at people.
Then Evans cornered his wife in the garage. He shot and killed her there, then turned the gun on himself.
I wasn't surprised that he had died. I could not believe that he would take another person's life.